Next, we'll talk about is variables. Now, when you talk about variables, it comes in two flavors. One is primitive and reference. Now, if you're familiar with C programming and C++, so normally we create variables, right? Something in, let's say, int x, int y, or int roll number, all those things, right? Those type of variables occur as primitive. Second type is reference. Now, when you create an object, every object needs a reference. Again, what exactly it means that we'll see in subsequent tutorials. So, but we have something as primitive and a reference. Now, when we talk about a variable, variables must have a type and it must have a name. Type will define the size and name will define how to call it. Example, let's say you want a variable to count some values. So what we can do is we can just specify it as int count. That means this int will specify the size and this count will specify the name. So this int is a type and count is a name here. Now, so if you can go with example, a variable is just a cup, a container, it holds something. So let's say if you have a int count, so count is a variable here, it can have a value like 5, 6, 7, or any number, any integer value. Okay. Now, this when we talk about this primitive type, let's say we have this int type, like this int, we have another primitive types also. So we'll see here what are the primitive types here. So primitive types in this, you have first you have a boolean and a character. Now boolean specifically means it can be true or false, because in this world there are some type of answers which we can say it's true, or which says we can it's false, right? So those type of values which only supports true and false is called as boolean values. Then we have char. Now char will take 2 bytes which can have only one letter. Okay, and when you say 2 bytes, it becomes 16 bits. So 16 bits means we have to go for 2 raised to 16, which comes out to be a value which is 65536. Since we are starting with 0, then we have to end it at 65535. The next type is your numeric values. So here all numeric values are signed, which means it starts with the negative range to positive range. So the first type of integer is byte. The byte will take only 1 byte, which comes out to be 8 bits. So the range is this. Then we have short, it will take 2 bytes, comes out to be 16 bits. This is the range. Then we have int, which takes 4 bytes, 32 bits, and this is the range. And then we have long, which takes 64 bits, or you can say 8 bytes, and it's huge. It's from negative huge to positive huge. Okay. And then we have this floating point numbers. Now floating point numbers means points where you can have two numbers, one will be before point and after will be after point. And then those floating point will have two things, float or double. By default, all the decimal type of numbers like point numbers will be doubled. So when I say 5.5, it is double. Okay. Now, when you talk about your variables, now variable needs a type and it needs a name. Now, type can be primitive, type can be reference. But variable, with that variable name, it can be anything except it should not start with any special character. Special character is not supported. And those names should not be a keyword. Notice keyword in Java. So keyword means reserved words, which is only used by Java syntax. And those reserved words are this. So approximately we have 50 reserved words. More than that, these are just 50. We have Boolean, byte, char, double. All these values are not supported. Mostly 90% or 95% of this keywords we are going to use. Okay. So that's it about variable and keywords. Further we'll see in the subsequent tutorials. Thank you.